For years, Blair believed she was one of the lucky ones. She had married Duke Herden, one of the most powerful men in the empire. Although he was cold and difficult to read, she convinced herself that he loved her in his own way. After all, they had built a family together. They even had a son, and to Blair, her son was the greatest treasure in her life. Everything seemed perfect. Until the day it all came crashing down. One afternoon, Blair witnessed something she never expected. The Duke had brought another woman into the mansion. Not only that, but she saw him embracing the woman with her own eyes. The sight shattered her heart. All the love she had spent years nurturing suddenly felt meaningless. Had she misunderstood everything? Had her marriage been a lie from the very beginning? Unable to bear the pain, Blair fled the scene. That night, she returned only for one reason: her son. No matter what happened between her and the Duke, she couldn't abandon her child. After spending time with him and carefully tucking him into bed, Blair made sure he was safe. Then she left the room. What she didn't know was that it would be the last time she would ever see him. As she walked through the mansion, an assassin suddenly appeared. Before Blair could react, she was attacked. Fear gripped her entire body. She wanted to scream. She wanted to call for help, but she couldn't. Her son was sleeping nearby. If the assassin discovered the child, there was no telling what might happen next. So Blair endured the pain in silence, alone, terrified, and slowly dying as her vision blurred. One thought consumed her mind. This must have been Duke Herden's doing. After all, he had already brought another woman home. Perhaps he wanted to get rid of her. Perhaps she had become an obstacle. Believing she had been betrayed by the man she loved, Blair took her final breath. But even in her final moments, she wasn't thinking about revenge. She wasn't thinking about the Duke or the woman who had taken her place. She was thinking about her son, the child she would never get to watch grow up, the child she would never hold again. Then, Blair opened her eyes. Instead of the afterlife, she found herself awake and sobbing. Somehow, she had returned to the past, back to a time before everything fell apart. And this time, Blair made a promise to herself. She would not repeat the mistakes of her previous life. She would not waste her time chasing Duke Herden's affection. And she certainly would not die the same way again. There was only one thing she wanted. It is to see her son no matter what it took. Soon afterward, Duke Herden approached her with a marriage proposal. In her previous life, Blair would have accepted immediately out of love. But this Blair was different. Instead of agreeing right away, she calmly proposed a one-year marriage contract. The Duke appeared surprised by the sudden change in her attitude. Under the agreement, Blair would assist him in investigating a mysterious incident from the past. In return, they would remain married for 1 year. To Herden, it was merely a practical arrangement. To Blair, it was the perfect opportunity. 1 year was all she needed. After all, if everything went according to plan, she could meet her beloved son again. She keeps emotional distance from the Duke and constantly reminds herself not to repeat the mistakes of her previous life. However, things don't go exactly as planned. While helping Herden investigate the truth behind the old incident, they eventually seek information through hypnosis. The process is meant to recover memories and uncover hidden clues, but the moment Blair begins reliving her past experiences, things take a disturbing turn. Painful memories flood back. Her condition becomes so severe that even the doctor conducting the hypnosis becomes alarmed. Watching Blair suffer, Herden completely loses his composure. He immediately orders the doctor to stop. When the doctor hesitates, the Duke's patience snaps. He openly threatens him. At that moment, finding answers no longer matters. The investigation no longer matters. The only thing Herden cares about is stopping Blair's suffering. For someone who supposedly entered a simple contract marriage, his reaction is far too emotional. After the hypnosis session, Blair remains unconscious, and surprisingly, the Duke refuses to leave her side. Instead, he stays by her bedside, watching over her. It is during this time that another misunderstanding begins. While sleeping, Blair starts talking in her dreams. She softly calls out her son's name to Blair. She is simply longing for the child she lost in her previous life. But Herden doesn't know that. He has absolutely no idea that the son she's calling for is his son. From his perspective, the situation looks completely different. The woman beside him keeps whispering another male's name while she's asleep. Naturally, the Duke jumps to the worst possible conclusion. He becomes convinced that Blair has someone else in her heart, someone she truly loves, and for perhaps the first time, the usually calm and unreadable Duke feels something dangerously close to jealousy. The irony is almost painful. The man is jealous of his own son, yet he doesn't even know it.